the former Prince Andrew, has been arrested. And not for his misconduct with, well, underage people. No. He's been arrested for misconduct in public office. So I just want to talk about it. And the royal family in general, really. It was about time they were, well, I had to put cancelled. Pretty much what needs to be done. They need to be cancelled. Not literally, but you know, we don't need a royal family. No. So was it Denmark or Norway that's also got problems at the moment? It was Norway, wasn't it? Because of the Epstein files. You see, other countries are actually standing up to it. But in the United States, the only one that got arrested really was Epstein himself, for which he was removed, cancelled, literally. Well, they say it's a suicide, but I have my doubts. Epstein files are all Republicans, 0 Democrats. No, I wouldn't say that. It's right across the board. There's a whole swathe of people in those Epstein files. Don't get me wrong, I don't support the Republicans, but for fairness, I think at the end of the day, there's, Bill Clinton's in there for a start. Jail the PDF file orange felon. Someone needs to. And he's not even the king. He thinks he is. He's a wannabe king. He is. But it's there's maybe a few, but mainly they would be Trumpy type supporters, wouldn't they? It seems that are in the Epstein files. It's quite shocking, really, how many people that you wouldn't expect are in there. But we have to also remember there's a lot of people that are in the Epstein files I just mentioned. Like, for instance, they've been in the correspondence or something like that, but not necessarily they haven't done anything wrong. But there's obviously a huge amount that have, and we know, or we were told by Raskin that Donald Trump was mentioned over 1 million times in the Epstein files when he done the searches. Obviously, a lot of those files are redacted, but hello there, everybody. I hope you're all well. Have a nice. Well, for me, it's afternoon. For you, it might be the morning. Who's to say? But it's an eye opener. It is. I've made several videos on this, but we don't know a huge amount at the moment. All we know is that the former Prince Andrew has been arrested for misconduct in public office, which could mean a multitude of things. But most likely, it's treasonous. It is treasonous. We need that guillotine. We're going to ask the French to borrow some. I'll make you one. I can make you a guillotine. Hydraulic or traditional? Gravity fed or hydraulic? Do you want it slow, painful, or quick? Well, it depends, really. Hydraulic would be the one for slow and painful, that would. A little bit of keel hauling would do the job, with tar and feathering, through the old traditionals. Maybe a duck and stool to see if they're witches or not. Or wizards. Either way. Something needs to be done. And I can't see anyone doing anything. I know there's a possibility that the former prince could end up in jail for what, if he's found to be guilty on these crimes, he will get 4 to 5 years. That's nothing. Nothing. But saying that, it's a lot more straightforward for the British to be able to convict Andrew Mountbatten, former prince, on that than it is in regards to the Epstein files, because they're not giving us access to the information, are they? And crikey, they wanted to investigate, the FBI wanted to investigate, he was Prince Andrew then, but he refused to go to be investigated, didn't he, Prince Andrew? When he was Prince Andrew, now former Prince Andrew. There's like Twitter and X, isn't it? Formerly Twitter. Crikey. Sorry, no comment. But you see, the royal family's no controversy to controversy. There's they have for time gone by. They have been involved in scandals, and quite recent scandals as well. You know, where you got hello there. For instance, even the Queen, the late Queen, they think she's she's wonderful, Queen Victoria. She was wonderful. She was, and okay, we shouldn't speak of the dead, but she was involved in some pretty sketchy stuff. She really was. You know, investing money in offshore, havens and all that, and also in blind trusts. You don't know where that money's going. So, she hired a Russian spy. You know, for quite a long period after she found out he was a Russian spy. I think it was, I can't remember his name now, but he was her art director or something or other. But he was a Russian spy. Yeah, but she carried on hiring him. She's not innocent. Well, she wasn't innocent. But there she's gone now, isn't she? And, some might say that Princess Diana, she was a character. And she was put through hell, to be fair. But she was a character, and she'd come over as being a sheepish kind of timid woman. But she wasn't. She was sharp. She was sharp as a pin, she was. And then there's the paparazzi in France. They chased her and Dodi. And I forgot, when was that? 97, was it? 1997? And she died. Yeah, a car crash, didn't they? Under the bridge and all that. And the bridge under, fly everything anyway, underpass. And Dodi, who is his father, who died also, believed it was on purpose. It was a murder. It was an assassination. And for years and years, Dodi's father was involved with an investigation and what have you, trying to. Any day, it all came to nothing in the end. And then we hear Dodi's father is a sex offender himself. What the fuck? Is anyone with people who've got money? They just spend that on SA? Is that what they do? Makes you wonder, doesn't it? It really does. All these millionaires and billionaires out there. It seems to be that's all they want to do is just use their money for ill-gotten goods. Oh, dear me. Now, David Lammy, he's had an interview about this, and he says that this is now a police investigation. So Deputy Prime Minister David Lammy has commented on Andrew's arrest, saying, as Justice Secretary and as the Prime Minister has already said, nobody in the country is above the law. What about the United States? Yeah, it is time for the Yanks to arrest the orange pervert, and I do wonder if Andrew knows too much. We know what happened to Jean-Luc Brunel in France, an Epstein acquaintance, and we know what happened to Epstein. Both of them apparently committed suicide. 2 different prisons, 2 different countries, but for the same crimes and the same organisation. So, makes me wonder, does Andrew know anything? Of course he does. He was there. He's been in communication with these people. He knows exactly what's going on. He spent too much time there not to. He was staying at one of Epstein's houses, wasn't he, for a while? He was spotted in a video. I think open the door to someone. Not the door, let someone know, whatever, Epstein was everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. It's debatable whether or not he actually made any money out of the actual sex crimes themselves, but it looks like he was using it for the bribe, for bribe. We know about the cameras. The plane had pinhole cameras everywhere. All his properties had pinhole cameras everywhere. Where is the footage? Does the FBI have it? It must be somewhere. Where did Epstein keep it? Maxine, Ghislaine Maxwell. She probably knows where they are. She's probably one of the ones behind the camera at times. Oh, thanks, Joe. Didn't you hear, mate? Thank you. We had some naughty ones, did we? Uh, but there'll be lots of people out there defending this, wouldn't there? There will be. There'll be lots of people trying to defend Andrew for his heinous acts. Yeah, it's like a horror film, and there's been no consequences. No, we had a couple of arrests now. Obviously, there's Epstein. You had the Norway. Norway? Yeah, no, I can't get confused now. Previous prime minister or something of Norway got arrested. And investigations are ensuing. Europe has now opened up investigations. France has, Poland has, Norway, Denmark. They're all opened up investigations on not just on the sex crimes, but the connections with Russia, which means Donald Trump's connections with Russia. And it's like Europe is cutting back on any engagement with Trump, just trying to keep him quiet, really. Buddy. And then there is the UK's even cutting back, especially on US tech. They're moving away from it. They're moving away from US tech. Now, 74% of Brits saying that they would move over to European-based technology. 74% is quite a high percentage in a poll. Instead of moving away from US technology in favour of EU technology. Oh, that's Norway. Cheers, buddy. So it's a former Prime Minister of Norway. Was arrested, and he was using Epstein as an agent between him and the Russians, and blackmailing little Trumpy with his pedo habits. Bloody hell. Thanks for that, Joel. Much appreciated, my friend. Good evening to you too. It's here. It is 1:30. Well, 1:30. No, 2:00. It's 2:00 here in France currently. So this is an ongoing story, and you're going to find that a lot of newspapers are not going to say too much about it because they can be held in contempt of court because there's an ongoing investigation, and anything could upset the investigation. Okay, sorry. Could upset the investigation, so we have to bear that in mind, obviously. But it's anyone who's level-headed knows what Andrew has been up to. Andrew McMahon, Prince Andrew. We know what he's been up to. We've seen different pictures of him sprawling over young girls and stuff like that. And then there's Virginia Defray, who somebody said in one of the comments of my videos, oh, she's a liar. Come on, that's just ludicrous. It really is ludicrous. The problem about lying, all right, I've said this before, I've said it a million times, you've always got to remember the lies. And people who lie compulsively always cock up. They forget what their last lie was, and then they say something different. And Trump is doing it all the bloody time. All these bit there, they're doing it all the while. And if you've got to be a bloody good, you've got a fucking good memory if you're a compulsive liar. You get caught out every time. Good for the UK then. Viper Scott, my friend. And the whole world knows. We all know what's going on. And if you look what's going on, I don't know what's going on with Epstein. We're all looking in. We've all been reading these files, they're heavily redacted and what have you. And you can pretty much fill the spaces. It's like, guess what was here? What's the most likely thing that was here? It's all AI redacted. There's just too much of it for them to get through. Millions and millions of files. And the fact that Trump has mentioned over 1 million times, that's a big job redacting his name, isn't it? Yeah. It's... I just wish they could all be honest. I really do. Life used to be so much easier if we could trust our politicians, if it was actually possible to trust them. But they all get tainted. Such as these royal families all get tainted. They get tainted with greed. Just it's like a honeypot, isn't it? You know, there's trigger switches. Jeffrey left on computers. Oh right, didn't know that. I'm so glad. I'm happy with the simple things in life. Oh my God, that's the best way, mate. Queen of a bath. Yes, I agree. Wouldn't it be nice if life was just simple? That you could just earn a bit of money, do what you need to do, pay your bills without having to have 3 jobs, have 3 dogs, go for 3 walks, and an easier life. Instead of all this social media driven madness, absolute madness. I just, I understand the social media bans that the UK is suggesting for children, or under 12s or 16s, whatever it's going to be. And it's, I get that. I think it's a must. Their brains are getting tainted with all this rubbish. They're not really being allowed to grow up as children. They have all this stuff thrown in their faces at a very early age. They don't need to be on this stuff. Instagram and all that sort of stuff, shit. It's pointless. I'll come off all that stuff. Yeah, somebody's definitely sweating now. They are. Well, Virginia DeFray remembered. She reminisced about, not in a positive way, about Prince Andrew at the time, about how sweaty he was. Oh, I recollect how sweaty he was. And then Prince Andrew said, well, it can't be me then, because he had an interview with, oh God, who was it with? Anyway, he was being interviewed, BBC interview, and and he says, I've got a rare condition. I don't sweat. Oh, yeah, right. Oh yeah, exactly. On his birthday as well. He got arrested on his birthday, early in the morning on his birthday. Can you imagine the locals in Sandringham around the royal estate? What's happening over there? Well, the police are turning. Oh, they're taking him away. I bet it's because he's a SA, a pedophile. Oh, did I say that? Oh, I did. What terrible. Oh, cheers, Joe. Thank you. The family covered up his crimes for 15 years, exactly. And this is one of the reasons why I say the Queen's complicit. She obviously knew there was truth in the story because she handed the money over. She gave him like 12, 13 million to hand over to Virginia DeFay. I'm not saying she didn't deserve it, because she did. But the fact that she was paid by the Queen, that is like an admission of guilt. Ooh, the jerky stuff made drink. Oh, crikey. Won't do that. For 1,000 years, that's how it's been. Yeah, it has. There's always been lots of controversy, around the royal family in the past, not just today. You think back, I made a list of things actually. This was terrible. This is yes. They apparently set the Princess Diana's hair on fire during a training exercise with King Charles. Off with his head. A drunken man broke into the Queen. I remember that Queen Elizabeth's bedroom. This crikey, I wasn't very old. I was very young at the time. I remember parents going on about Queen Elizabeth's bedroom while she was asleep. When was that? 1980s, 82. Michael Fagan shimmied up Buckingham Palace drain pipe in 1982. He triggered one of Britain's biggest security scandals. How the hell does that happen? Buckingham Palace. How does that happen? Crikey. The drunk labourer smashed an ashtray and broke into the Queen's bedroom, carrying a shard of glass. It was at 7:15 a.m., and the Queen pressed her alarm, and nothing. Her footman was walking the corgis. Overnight, police guard left an hour earlier, not missing a beat, and the Queen offered Fagin a cigarette and waited for backup. I could just imagine that. Can you imagine that? That sounds like her. Oh dear. A maid arrived incredulously, and she says, incredulous, she says, "Bloody hell, ma'am, what's he doing here?" Oh, the Queen Elizabeth took it in her stride, but she was angry, criticising her security team once Fagin was led away. Sounds like she had a bit of a conflab with him. So that, yeah, oh dear me. But she wasn't innocent. She's involved in lots of scandals. Princess Diana once jumped off the first floor balcony in the Austrian mountain resort to get away from a protection team. Yeah, I know who she's going to meet. She's enough of it, hasn't she? What else I want to know? Oh crikey, the shamed king. What was that? Yeah, I wonder if he'd be exiled. I wonder if Prince Andrew, or the former Prince Andrew, would be exiled. He's sent to a little island somewhere. There is a little. I heard there's a little island somewhere there in the Caribbean. This is the thing that got me a bit. No, I've actually done videos about this in the past. When it's about this, oh crikey, this article's 8 years old. No wonder. The Paradise Papers leak revealed Duchy of Lancaster put money into a retailer criticised for exploiting poor families. I think that would have been the Rothschilds or something. Rothschilds? Or I'm looking at it, it'll be here somewhere. Millions of pounds of the Queen's private estate has been invested in Cayman Islands Fund as a part of offshore portfolio that had never before been disclosed. According to documents revealed in an investigation into offshore tax havens. Files from substantial leaks show for the first time how the Queen, through the Duchy of Lancaster, has held and still holds investments via funds that put money into an array of businesses. Oh, Bright House. Yeah, as the retailer Bright House. And also, I think there's a off-license Freshers, which is quite big off-licenses. I don't know about anywhere else, but in the UK it was. Exploiting thousands of poor families and vulnerable people. Now, the thing that really annoyed me about it is once it became a bit, there was a policy that was going to come out, was being made within the government, within Parliament in the UK, that meant a lot of stuff was going to be disclosed. A lot of this information would have been disclosed. Well, she used her prerogative to, with the current the administration at the time, to force them into not going ahead with this particular new policy, this new bill that's going through. So it got stopped because she's frightened that all her secrets would be exposed. That'd be bad for the royal family, bad for the monarchy. That's corruption, isn't it? It really is corruption. That's not right. They're not supposed to have their influence on us. Don't be wrong. The Prime Minister meets up with the Queen apparently every week, discuss things, and it's just what's going on in my country this week? Well, the King now, sorry, be King Charles now. But, the Paradise Papers leaked. Duchy of Lancaster put money into the retailer, criticised being her, criticised exploiting poor families. But it's beyond a joke, isn't it? Really. But it's putting the monarchy at risk as well. The monarchy And I'm no royalist. As far as I'm concerned, they can go and do one, and chop all their heads off and stuff. But the this has to be the last straw for people, surely. Yeah, people who supported the monarchy. There's another YouTube channel called Different Bias. I wonder what he's thinking. He's a bit of a royalist. Be quite interested to see what he says about it. He probably won't. I don't know. Look, follow him these days, but I know that he used to be a bit of a royalist. Oh, the royal family don't cost that much. It costs a fucking fortune. It's still got to be maintained. They don't get a wage, but they have to be maintained. So, crikey, didn't Princess Anne also? Yeah, Princess Anne was in a car with somebody. Anyway, she was in the car, and she got stopped by gunpoint. And this guy tried to get out. What he was going to do was hold a ransom for £2 or £3 million at the time. It was a long while ago. And she said he told her to get out of the car. She said something very sort of, I can't remember what it was now. Not on your Nelly or something else, something like that. She basically said she would get out anyway. Anyway, he got arrested. Oh, quite. And there was Prince Charles, wasn't he? Was it last week? I think it was last week, or week before. He was being heckled, about Prince Andrew, because this was after Prince Andrew moved from his residence in at the palace and went to Sandringham, but it's like out of sight, out of mind. That's kind of what it is. But we all know, don't we? The royal family are the monarchy is trying to cover up. They're trying to get them out of people's, out of the way. And now it's impossible. It's impossible because of investigation. Now, some people have said to me that he hasn't been convicted, it's all alleged. I'm sorry. The police don't randomly arrest a member of the royal family unless they're fucking dead cert. Unless they got a really good bloody conviction, possibly of a conviction. There's no. Because their head would roll. Somebody's head would roll. They're going to make sure all the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed. It's not willy-nilly. And they've been planning this operation, not just for days, probably for weeks. It's just... There's... No. They know. They know. They just got to prove it in court now. He'll be charged. He would have his passport taken away by the police. I still think it's a flight risk, though, even without a passport. He knows too many people. There's been so many scandals, isn't there? Over the years. Here's what about the royal family here of Norway? So Epstein files threatening to split Norway's royal family into two. So Norway's royal family were battling scandals on multiple fronts this week, with charities moving to cut or review ties to the crown princess for her past contact with the late sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, while others question her suitability to the role of a future queen. The first controversy is that 29-year-old son of Crown Princess Mary, who earlier this week broke down in tears during the first day of testimony as he denied 4 counts of rape in an Oslo court. Was it Marius Borg Hoiby? I'm not sure how you pronounce that. Well, Hoiby sits outside the line of succession and was born before his mother married Crown Prince Haakon in 2001. And it's all because of the files that got released. So these people are just... The thing that really gets me, right, you know that when if you have somebody in the forefront, if there's somebody out there, people can search or see on a daily basis, you're either in the news or something. You got to lead a squeaky clean life, haven't you? You're going to be the target to somebody. Someone's going to want to hurt you, or going to want to find out shit about you. You can't afford to do anything scandalous. So somebody's going to find out. It seems so foolish for people who've managed to, unless they've inherited it, have managed to do well for themselves or build up businesses, and they do all this scandalous stuff. I just think they've got a screw loose. Out of anybody, they're going to be the ones that are going to get scrutinised, aren't they? Go. Greedy politicians, yep, most definitely. Cold cream said, I'm feeling tired. Eat an apple. Well, the royal family is, I think they're done for, really, aren't they? Don't be wrong, they're not going, regarding respect and what have you, they ain't done now. There'll be very few people who look up to them now, I'm sure. Putting barbecue sauce and they taste like chicken. Oh my god. God, only just, yeah, that was quite interesting. I'll probably go live again later about this. We know a bit more about what's going on. Let's hope. Do you think it's on his wish list? Was it on his birthday wish list, do you reckon? Let's hope Andrew gets everything that he deserves for his birthday, says Dr. Wofen. Oh, Doctor Who fan, sorry. Sorry. My teen agrees that social media for kids is a good thing. Yeah, good on them, I say. That's pragmatic. I think it's important now. We've seen what's happened, haven't we? Now, during the Brexit, there was massive campaign to melt people's minds by a company called Cambridge Analytica. They basically get paid to cause all these problems. And one of the whistleblowers said they only needed, give you an idea of how easy it is to get to everybody. This is for the whole United States. They reckon they only needed about 270,000 contacts, on YouTube, on Facebook, to gain access to absolutely. It's like pyramid sales, I suppose. To get access to everybody. That's all they needed. And when Meta allowed them access to those files, to those subscribers to Facebook, it just opened them up to everybody, and they flood the zone. Okay, they got taken down in the end because of the investigation by Channel 4 News. It was an eye opener. It really was. I didn't realise how clever these people are regarding pushing narratives. So when they do it, they don't just think of funneling. You start with the tease, and it goes the next one, and the next one, before you're drawn in hook, line, and sinker. You're spinning that out the other end of this nozzle. Hello, Kelly the key. There's Natcha the dog. Oh, Dylan, I don't know what went on there, mate, but it's sometimes YouTube can be fickle, can't it? I don't know. I hadn't seen it. Dylan. Um, yeah, there'd be a lot of rumours, wouldn't there? But the thing is, it is an ongoing investigation, so you're not. It's all going to be rumours at the minute. If you're talking about Andrew. Oh, thank you. I do have a lot of glasses, don't you, Ready Specs? They're quite nice ones. They got nice metal hinges and stuff in them. Quite good quality ones. I haven't removed any cons anyway. I'd like to visit France again one day, but I don't like flying these days. It depends where you are, I suppose. If you're in the UK, you can go by tunnel or ferry. Yeah, nothing else has been confirmed regarding Prince Andrew. We don't know anything uh, yet. All we know is that he's been arrested. We don't know if he's been charged yet, but we know if he's been arrested. We know he's been arrested for uh, misconduct in public office. You know, they are actually investigating him regarding the other crimes as well, as part of a separate investigation. So it isn't those. The problem we had is that we can't get. Say we, they can't get the evidence from the United States because the Trump regime isn't very forthcoming, is it? So then you work on what they've got, and then we've got the European Union member states doing their own investigations regarding Epstein. All this stuff, all the people involved are all going to end up being, they're going to be forefront, aren't they? There's no reason for the European Union to hold. Remember, any of the countries, say like France, they're not going to hold back. I can't see it. They'll think about it, maybe think about it twice, what have you, whether or not they should make it public. But they will use that to convict if they have to, and then it'll be public. So, pedos and trays all over Europe are getting interviewed there, aren't they? Detained or arrested. Meanwhile, in the USA, Error 404. Nothing to see here. Yeah. It's about right, isn't it? They've done Epstein, haven't they? It's just nuts. It's all that crikey. They must have so much stuff. Let alone what went on with Epstein. I bet they've got a shitload of stuff on Trump. So, without that, there's all the other fucking crimes. What about all the secret papers that that you had a strategically placed photocopier beside? It's just you can imagine. He probably went to the old bog down there, didn't he? Or maybe he did. Maybe empty his bag or change his nappy. He went down there and while he's waiting, do his things and stuff. He's probably got his people around him doing that, mopping his bum and stuff. He's probably reading through the secret papers. Oh, I'll photocopy that one. I'll send that or fax that one to to Putin or whatever. It's got to be worth something. Yep, Trump is more than Jesus is in the Bible. That was it Raskin who said that? I think was it Raskin? You said that? I think it was Raskin, wasn't it? He said it over 1 million times. The papers are in the toilet with the photocopies. That sounds a bit like Cluedo. It was Mr. Peacock in the library with the candlestick. Paul Lance, that rings a bell. Putin was using Epstein to blackmail people like Trump, yes. And also he had his own compromat on Trump as well, didn't he? Krasnov, that's it, Krasnov. He's just been outside. Oh, yeah, the other wee. He's very sleepy, you know. Aren't you? Oh, thank you. He wants to go for a walk, I think. But it's pouring down rain. Still. It's rain. Criminals they are, that they are. Yeah, little Nacho. He reminds me so much of my little Wally. He really does. His little mannerisms and that. Which, it makes me sad sometimes, but on the other hand, it reminds me of all the good things about my little Wally. You write something that doesn't come up. That's strange. Oh, yeah, good boy, yeah. You know what, though? Someone was saying earlier about having a simpler life. Yeah, there's a lot to be said for that. There really is a lot to be said for that. Now, although I'm broke all the while, because my business got killed over Brexit, it really did. And I haven't really been able to pick it up again. So I sort of stuck in YouTube, hoping that's going to help, but not really. But doing a little rewilding project we're doing here and stuff. When you've got all this other stuff going on, it's a good way of losing yourself and something. It's good to have something saying something about hobbies and stuff on the radio the other day about people need hobbies, need an escape from this madness, and because you can get consumed by it. You really can be consumed by it. I follow the news every waking. Whenever I'm awake, I'm following it. Which is madness, really. It's not exactly healthy. But these guys, they kind of money or friends. You can have one or the other, I suppose. Because real friends, you can't buy friends, real friendships, can you? 3 times? No, I knew it wasn't you. Well, you're there now. I can see you now. I don't know why that was. That's strange. But I think sometimes we have to get ourselves out of that mindset of constantly, kind of waiting for the next thing to happen, because in the case of if now is a case of when, and usually it's within a few minutes. it's just always something new to throw a spanner in the works. Did I see the carnival parade in Germany? No, I didn't. Sorry. It was awesome. No, I didn't see that. Yep. Down the old dark rabbit hole. That is. It is. That's very much what it is. But I try to earn a little bit of living out of this, which isn't a lot, as you already know. But it's you have to do it all the time, because you don't know when it's going to hit, do you? When you got ideally you want to be the first person to. I never am. You want to be the first person out there, getting your videos up, to stand a better chance with the algorithm. But it's never the case. I need a fly on the wall somewhere. I need an insider. That's what I need. Oh, Joel's saying he's noticed that they shadow ban some of my videos. I get that all the time, it seems. I get that on this channel and my AllShorts channel. My Wally Bois channel, my woodworking channel. On the short videos, they seem to do okay. But on the long form videos, they don't do very well at all. They used to be the other way around. But I think it's because a lot of my You either do one or the other, really. I suppose that's what I should be doing, one or the other. I just said that England should watch YouTube for evidence on Andy. There's loads of evidence on Andy. He's got a hell of a. He's not a very nice man anyway. He's quite a foul personality, and so is Prince William. He ain't very fucking nice. He's all arrogant little shit. You know, don't know what's wrong with these people. You know, they think they're above everything. The only half decent one there, I think, was probably Harry. You know, and he gets all the grief, doesn't he? Oh, thanks, Joel, for help, mate. You better get on with your work, mate. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I did hear about that. The former Korean president is going to be sentenced to life for declaring martial law. There was a possibility that he was going to get have a death penalty for, wasn't there? Just ignore American news sources. God, oh my God, they're tainted. They really are tainted. Some of the good places I found for non-biased opinions and news on the United States. Korean news is very good. A lot of the German news outlets, I think what is DW News, they seem very good. You know, they're not tainted. You know, they all seem to be influenced. And some of the other Asian outlets as well, they can't believe what's going on. You know. Yeah, check out Joe's channel. He's a very knowledgeable chap. He really is. He knows a lot of stuff, and he's very kind to do the moderation on this channel as well. So I do appreciate that. But he's a busy guy. He's a busy guy. But he has got his channel. And he started, I think it was last year or the year before. So it's a young channel, but it's quite interesting. I usually listen to him when I'm doing my in the wood shop, cutting bits of wood and stuff, like a podcast. Google German Carnival. I will have a look. I haven't seen it yet, but I will have a look. Oh, thank you, Kelly. I enjoy watching all your videos, dear Marcus. Thank you. YouTube doesn't help, though, does it? Just it really doesn't help. Yeah, maybe I don't know. Jail for life for an insurrection would be good as well. That might be a good plan there. Yeah, jail for life seems fair for martial law, in my opinion. Says TJ Race. I agree. It's pretty damn severe stuff, isn't it? Oh, thanks, Kelly Key, Kelly the Key. Oh, thanks for the super chat. Much appreciated. Democracy Now is the only. Oh, that's a good channel. Yeah, I forgot about that one. Yeah, I do watch it sometimes because of my feed. I don't know about you, but some of these channels I have to be in the right mood for. I quite like Secular Talk because he kind of speaks as it is, but I'm not always in the mood for him. And there's some channels out there quite shouty. I'm not always in the mood for them. And some channels are boring. So I'm not always in the mood for them, but sometimes I am. You know, I kind of flirt between them really, and usually the ones that I trust. And I do. I listen to Midas Touch as well occasionally. There's two presenters in there. I'll listen to Ben, although he does dramatise everything. And there's the guy with the big nose. I can't remember his name. He's got a hell of a voice. I think I'm just listening because of his voice. But apart from that, I don't really that interested. And I tell you what really turned me off is when I saw Michael Cohen started being on there, and I thought, oh my God, really? You honestly think that leopard's changed his spots? I made videos about this when he first started putting them on there, and then all the shit hit the fan. All of a sudden, Michael Cohen is no longer on there. He was grifting. Anyone that can't see through that, that's why I don't understand. You see Trump, you see all those people, Caroline Levitt, they're all grifting. Their mannerisms, the way they talk, and it's obvious. They're just grifting, lying, basically. Do you support Trump? Not on your Nelly. Not on your Nelly. Never would I support a man who's even accused of being a paedophile, let alone who I believe that he most certainly is. There's just too many allegations for not being any truth in them. You know what they said? There's always an element of truth. The fact of the matter is that there's just like over 1 million mentions in the Epstein files. I know not 1 million times, obviously, crimes, but there's a shitload of them that are. Plus all the other, like Riley, Sasha Riley, and others who've made allegations directly. Katie Johnson was it as well. Made allegations directly aimed at us. They're not all lying. They're not all making it up. That's stupid. That makes it sound like some kind of group action or something. No, I don't. But no, why would I? And besides, look what he's doing as well. His policies and how he's treating people in the US. No, just anywhere, in fact. And how he's treating other countries. No, he's not a good man. He's not a good man. Oh, is it Aaron, is it? Is Aaron the one with the big nose and the amazing voice? I say he's got a big nose. He's got a big nose. He's got it suits his head. So I don't know. I've got a stumpy nose and a fat head. I've got a hooch head, by the way. I've got a 61 centimetre circumference of my head. It must be swelling or something. I don't know what's going on. Brett Wood biking. I'm going to keep being me. If I get put in a train car like the 1940s Germany, I guess it's meant to be. Ooh. Yeah, you want that? You got to be yourself. You got to be. Yeah. You don't change me. I'm too long in the tooth for that now. A lot of stuff bothers me, and a lot of stuff I just, shrug my shoulders out, or just I've got this thing in my head. A bit of philosophy of mine is that if someone is disrupting your chi, you need to push them away, and that's even their family. I can't cope with it anymore. I can't cope with it. I refuse to cope with it. I don't want to deal with other people's problems, not anymore. Not when, depending what the problems are, obviously. If it's a member of the family that they're really struggling or something, it'll be different. But for anyone, in fact. But sometimes it's just poor hard done by me kind of thing. So at some point, irony is no longer erotic. No, it's like the film Idiocy. It's idiocy or idiocy. I already had problems with Trump when he was in his tower, carrying his money. Do you know what? I didn't really know anything about the guy until he was running for president. Nothing about him. I thought, oh my God, I don't like him. If you Google a Project Saltbox, you can literally see all of the warehouses that are being purchased across America for detention. I've seen some of them, and they're massive. They're not detention centres. They're concentration camps. You see the size of them. They're huge. They're like massive complexes. And all they're going to have inside them is cages and tents and stuff, you know. They'll just be, horrendous. What's wrong with these people? It is very ominous, yes. And also, who else are they planning to put on there? Anyone who dissent? Most likely. I don't think anyone's safe. More jerky farms. Ooh. Oh, Aaron. That Aaron Parnas. Yes, sorry. Yes, I do. Yeah, I know Aaron Parnas. His father was a bit of a dodgy geezer, though. But Aaron, he's just a. I find him a bit boring at times, but he does he's at the forefront, isn't he? And I'm not keen when they go breaking news. Everything's breaking news. Breaking news this or breaking news that. Oh, Midas Touch does that as well, and it's god, just leave it out. I'll tell you what I would like them to do is say what day it is, because when you're watching or you get these clips in your feed, it's not always obvious how old they are. You know. So if they made sure that they're in their if they put the date in their feed, then that'd be less likely that they had people keep stealing their content for a start and reposting it sort of months later, because the date will be on it. But also it makes it a lot easier, because a lot of these like YouTube and TikTok and what have you, they don't always see the date. You don't always know when it was posted on the short feed. So it'd be good if they let us know when it was on each video. I think that would make life a lot easier for people like me. So yeah, even if you put at the end, even not there. Yeah, no, Eugenie. Yeah, Aaron Parnas. He seems a pretty genuine sort as well, doesn't he? You know, he does very good. His short stack is very good. Arch to Triumph is next. Oh my god, the Trump. Arch to Trump. Oh crikey! I've seen the Arch to Triumph. I live in France several times. Such vanity. It's like when when Jesse died. Trump had to make it all about him, didn't he? On his post, and then he tried to find all the pictures of him and Jesse together and stuff. It's just he literally made it about him. So narcissistic. It's all right, Brett. So AI playing silly bugs in regard to Prince Andrew, King Andrew. Never. Anyway, Andrew Mountbatten. So India's made them. Yeah, they need to put dates on shorts. I need to start doing that really. I don't get the food anyway at the moment, but I think it would help if when you put them up, you get an opportunity to put a bit of writing on your shorts. So there's nothing stopping you putting the date on there, is there? I think that might be a good idea. Just some simple date format, just to make it obvious for people that it is current, and not like news from like 6 months ago. That's sort of semi-irrelevant now. No, same image. Mucha. Aaron Parnas has got a dodgy dad, and he's also come. Aaron Parnas has talked about it quite openly, and that's not who Aaron Parnas is. Most people you can read. Most people you wear their heart on their sleeve. Most people do. Most people aren't trying to hide or cover up for stuff constantly, you know. Now, everyone who knows me, I know I'm open and honest, and I don't lie. And I'm not just saying that I don't lie because I can't be bothered. I'll be honest with you, I just can't be bothered with getting caught out for a start. Anyway, Aaron Parnes, the way he speaks, his mannerisms and that, he's just Aaron Parnes. I don't think he's the funniest person out there. Don't get me wrong. He's borderline boring, but I think he's decent. I think he's a decent person, from what I can tell. But when you get people like Trump and all these people like that, and you think to yourself, how is it that people don't realise who these people really are and what they're really like and what they're about? How is it people don't realise this? Can't see it for themselves. That's what I don't understand. Because most of it's fucking obvious. You know? They're not being who they really are. They're not being open and honest. I just realised I hadn't put pellets at beep in the background there. There's a pellet burner, probably ran out of pellets. I forgot. I was supposed to put them in there, I forgot. Never mind. Never mind. Anyway, I am going to make a move, I think, because I'm losing my voice. I thought I bought myself some vodka out, thinking that was going to help me, but it didn't. So I'll put that back in the bottle for later. I've got a problem with my voice, you see. I find alcohol sometimes makes it easy for me to speak because it's the vocal cords. It does actually help sometimes, but not always. Yes, shocking. Nothing happens in America is almost rewarded and celebrated. The one thing I tell my kids, right? I've got 11 grandchildren, and the one thing I tell my kids again and again, you don't reward bad behaviour. Okay, they do what they want to do anyway. They can ignore me, so to make any difference. But don't reward bad behaviour. I say the same with my dogs. You know, these two over here, they usually very rarely are they naughty. I mean, but this little fella. He is a naughty little boy, but then he's only young. You know, he's only about a year. We don't really know. I'll tell you what about Russia getting back in the Paralympics. I'm not happy about it. I think Ukraine has just made a statement saying that they are probably not going to attend. So yeah, not that great. Hi mate, it's my birthday today. Can you smoke some weed for me? I've never ever smoked. I'm not like you to smoke weed. Oh, this little one, he's lovely. He's lovely but naughty, I'll tell you. He's very bitey at the minute as well. Yeah, he likes to chew everything, including me. Don't you? Aye. He's molting now. He's all of a sudden started molting. I'm not surprised though, because he's not. He won't sleep in his basket. He will do in the day, but at night he won't. I have one mold and colour. Will you enjoy that? Not the joking type. Yeah, he is beautiful. He's lovely. He's lovely and soft as well. He had a shower a couple of days ago, so he's really soft. He gets muddy. He does get muddy because he's a bit of a rat. He likes to find the holes. He really does. He gets loopy over them. And then he gets all muddy. So I have to put him in the bath or shower him. But he's in lots of ways he's easy. In other ways, he's a little horror. But I love him. I do. I really do love him. He reminds me so much of my little Wally. Good memories. Anyway, I am going to go now. Oh, he does. He does love me. He does. Ah, because he gets spoiled, don't you? Hmm? When Aaron gets on raging, moderates with Jessica Tutt. Oh, I didn't know that, does he? I don't know. Oh, got it. Very serious guy on his own channel. Yeah, I'm not knocking him. I just think, he's I think he's sincere. I think that's the thing about a lot of people come over as being insecure. Look at the Rogan Josh. Rogan Josh. Rogan anyway. He's well, he's trying to do a full circle at the moment after his rather dubious promotion of Donald Trump. Yeah. Wake and bake at 59 coffees a week. Oh dear. Anyway, we're going to go, aren't we? In fact, I think it's stopped raining. Ooh, might be time for a walk. Yeah. What do you reckon? Eh? What do you reckon? I just want a cuddle, Daddy. You just want a cuddle. Anyway, toodaloo. Have a lovely rest of the day. And, you know, when I know more, I'll let you know. And thanks for the super chat. Much appreciated.